Welcome to Hidden Realms, where we explore the darkest corners of reality and the terrifying spaces that exist just beyond our perception. I'm your guide into the unknown, and today I'm about to take you on a journey that will make you question everything you thought you knew about reality. If you're new here, this channel is dedicated to the most chilling true stories, unexplained phenomena, and horrifying encounters that will keep you awake at night. Make sure you're watching this with the lights on, because once you enter these hidden realms, you may never see the world the same way again. Have you ever felt that strange sensation? That moment when you're walking through a familiar place, a hallway, an empty mall, or an office building after hours, and suddenly everything feels wrong? The lighting seems off, the air feels heavy, and there's this overwhelming sense that you're somewhere you shouldn't be. That's what happened to Alex Morgan. A normal person, just like you, who took one wrong turn and found himself in a place that shouldn't exist. This is his story. Alex was a 28-year-old software developer who had recently moved to a new city for work. His company occupied 3 floors of a massive office complex, one of those sprawling buildings with identical hallways, fluorescent lighting, and an endless maze of corridors that all looked the same. On Friday, April 13th, Alex was working late. The office had emptied hours ago, leaving him alone with the hum of the air conditioning and the occasional flicker of the overhead lights. It was nearly midnight when he finally decided to call it quits. "That should do it," Alex muttered to himself as he shut down his computer. He grabbed his jacket and headed toward the elevator. The office was eerily quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you aware of every small sound, the soft tap of his shoes against the carpet, the distant hum of the building's systems, the subtle buzz of the fluorescent lights overhead. Alex pressed the elevator button and waited. And waited. After a minute with no response, he pressed it again, harder this time. Nothing. "Great," he sighed. "Guess I'm taking the stairs." The stairwell was located at the end of a long corridor. As Alex walked, he noticed something odd. The hallway seemed longer than he remembered. The overhead lights flickered rhythmically, creating a strobe-like effect that made the journey disorienting. When he finally reached the stairwell door, he pushed it open and began his descent. The stairs were concrete, industrial, with metal railings that felt cold to the touch. Standard emergency stairs in any office building. But as Alex descended past what should have been the ground floor, he realized something was wrong. The stairs kept going down, and down, and down. "What the hell?" he whispered. According to the signs, he had passed the lobby level several flights ago, but the stairs continued downward. There was no exit door where there should have been one. Confused, Alex decided to go back up, but when he turned around, the staircase above him looked different. The walls were a slightly different shade, yellower, older. The lighting was dimmer. "This doesn't make sense," he said, his voice echoing in the stairwell. "I must have missed the exit." He continued downward, hoping to find another way out. After what felt like dozens more flights, the stairs finally ended at a door. It was old, with peeling yellow paint and a push bar that had been worn down from use. Alex pushed through the door and froze. He found himself in a hallway that stretched in both directions as far as he could see. The walls were covered in faded yellow wallpaper with a subtle pattern. The carpet was an ugly mustard color with geometric shapes. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, some flickering, some dead entirely, creating patches of shadow. It looked like an old hotel corridor, or maybe an office building from the 1970s, but it was endless, with no visible turns or exits. "Hello?" Alex called out, his voice sounding flat and muffled, as if the air itself was absorbing the sound. "Is anyone here?" No response. Alex decided to walk, choosing a direction arbitrarily. As he moved down the corridor, he noticed there were no doors, no windows, no signs, just the endless yellow hallway stretching before him. After walking for what felt like 20 minutes, Alex began to panic. The hallway hadn't changed at all. There were no landmarks, no variations, just the same yellow wallpaper, the same buzzing lights, the same mustard carpet. He started to run, his footsteps muffled by the carpet. The lights overhead seemed to flicker in sequence as he passed beneath them, creating a disorienting strobe effect. Finally, after running until his lungs burned, Alex stopped to catch his breath. When he looked up, he saw something different ahead, a turn in the hallway. Relief washed over him as he approached the corner. Maybe this would lead to an exit, or at least somewhere different from this endless yellow corridor. As he rounded the corner, Alex froze. It was another identical hallway, stretching endlessly in both directions. "This isn't possible," he whispered, his voice trembling. Alex continued walking, trying to maintain his composure. He checked his phone, no signal, and the time displayed was 12 a.m., despite the fact that he'd been walking for what felt like hours. As he put his phone away, he noticed something on the wall that he hadn't seen before. A small black smudge on the yellow wallpaper. It was the first imperfection he'd encountered in this place. Alex approached the mark and realized it wasn't a smudge at all. It was a small, crude drawing of a stick figure drawn in what looked like black ink or marker. Next to the figure was a single word, written in messy handwriting: "Run." Alex's heart raced. Someone else had been here. Someone had left this warning. That's when he heard it, a sound from far down the hallway behind him, a soft, wet sound, like something heavy being dragged across the carpet. Alex turned slowly. In the distance, where the hallway faded into shadow, he could make out a figure. It was too far away to see clearly, but something about its movements was wrong, jerky, unnatural, and it was coming toward him. Without thinking, Alex ran. He sprinted down the hallway, away from the figure, his footsteps silent against the carpet despite his speed. As he ran, the lights began to flicker more violently. Some burst as he passed beneath them, showering him with sparks and glass. The hallway began to change. The yellow wallpaper started to peel away in strips, revealing concrete underneath. The carpet became worn and torn in patches, exposing bare floor. And still, Alex ran. After what felt like miles, he saw something ahead, a door, a simple wooden door on the right side of the hallway. Alex reached for the handle, glancing back over his shoulder. The figure was closer now, still obscured by distance and the flickering lights, but clearly pursuing him. Its movements were wrong, like it was being puppeteered by strings, or like its joints bent in impossible ways. Alex threw open the door and rushed through, slamming it shut behind him. He found himself in a room. Unlike the decaying hallway, this room was pristine. It looked like a hotel room from the 1990s. Floral bedspread, boxy television, patterned curtains drawn over what should have been a window. But something was off. The proportions were wrong. The ceiling was too high, the corners of the room too sharp. And there was no window behind the curtains, just more wall, painted to look like curtains. "What is this place?" Alex whispered. On the bedside table, he noticed a journal. It was leather-bound and worn, as if it had been handled frequently. Next to it was an old Polaroid camera. Alex picked up the journal with trembling hands and opened it. The first page contained a single sentence, written in the same messy handwriting as the warning on the wall. "If you're reading this, you've entered the Backrooms, and you may never leave." The journal belonged to someone named David, who claimed to have been trapped in this place for what felt like years. He wrote about endless yellow hallways, about rooms that shouldn't exist, about the entities that hunted in the darkness. And he wrote about levels. The Backrooms, according to David, had countless levels, each more dangerous than the last. The yellow hallways were just the beginning, level 0. As Alex flipped through the journal, he found maps, notes, warnings about certain areas, and descriptions of the entities David had encountered. One page contained a Polaroid photo. It showed a figure standing at the end of a hallway, too blurry and distant to make out clearly. Written beneath it were the words, "It follows. Don't look directly at it." Alex's blood ran cold as he realized this might be the same entity that had been pursuing him. The final entry in the journal was dated day and read, "I've found a way to level 1. There's supposed to be a way out through there. If you're reading this and I'm not here, I made it out, or something got me. Either way, the camera might help. They don't like the flash. And if you see a door with a red exit sign, take it. It might lead home, or to somewhere worse. But staying here is certain death." Alex jumped at the sound. Something was outside the door. The door handle began to turn slowly. Alex grabbed the Polaroid camera from the bedside table and backed away from the door. His heart pounded in his chest as the handle completed its rotation. The door swung open, revealing the dark hallway beyond. Standing in the doorway was a figure that made Alex's mind recoil. It looked human, but wrong, like someone had tried to create a person without ever having seen one. Its proportions were off, its movements jerky and unnatural. Its face was smooth and featureless, save for a wide, lipless mouth. The entity tilted its head at an impossible angle, regarding Alex with a face that had no eyes to see with. Alex raised the camera with shaking hands. The entity took a step forward, its movements like stop-motion animation, jerky, frame by frame. The flash illuminated the room in harsh white light. The entity recoiled, its featureless face splitting open in what might have been pain or anger. Alex didn't wait to see more. He spotted another door on the opposite side of the room, one he hadn't noticed before. Above it glowed a red exit sign. He ran for the door, throwing it open and rushing through without looking back. The world shifted around him. The air became thick and humid. The lighting changed from the harsh fluorescence to a dim, reddish glow. Alex found himself in what appeared to be a massive boiler room or maintenance area. Pipes ran along the walls and ceiling, hissing with steam. The floor was metal grating over concrete. In the distance, massive machinery hummed and clanked. According to David's journal, this must be level 1. As Alex caught his breath, he noticed something on the wall nearby. Another crude drawing of a stick figure with an arrow pointing down a particular corridor. Was David leaving him a trail to follow? Alex took out the journal and flipped to the pages about level 1. David had written that this level was more dangerous than the first, with more entities and fewer safe spaces. But he had also written about a way out, a door that supposedly led back to the real world. With renewed determination, Alex began to follow the path indicated by the arrow. He had to find that door. He had to escape this impossible place. As he ventured deeper into level 1, the machinery sounds grew louder. The air became hotter, harder to breathe. The red emergency lights cast everything in a bloody glow. And somewhere in the distance, echoing through the maze of pipes and machinery, Alex heard something moving, something big. He quickened his pace, following the arrows left by David. Each one led him deeper into the mechanical labyrinth. After what felt like hours of navigating the steam-filled corridors, Alex came to a large open area. It looked like some kind of central hub, with corridors branching off in all directions. In the center stood a massive boiler, glowing red-hot and pulsing like a heart. And there, on the far side of the room, was a door with a glowing red exit sign above it. "That's it," Alex whispered. "That has to be the way out." But as he started across the open space, the machinery sounds suddenly stopped. The constant background noise of hissing steam and clanking metal fell silent, leaving an eerie quiet. Alex froze. Something was wrong. That's when he heard it. A low, rumbling growl that seemed to come from everywhere at once. From the shadows of one of the corridors emerged a creature. It was massive, at least 8 feet tall, with a body that seemed cobbled together from machinery and flesh. Steam hissed from vents in its shoulders, and its eyes glowed the same red as the boiler. The creature spotted Alex and let out a deafening roar. Alex ran toward the exit door, his heart pounding in his chest. The creature pursued, its heavy footsteps shaking the metal grating beneath him. The exit door was just ahead. 20 feet, 10 feet. Alex could feel the creature's hot breath on his neck as he reached for the handle. 5 feet, 3 feet. Alex threw open the door, and that was just the beginning of Alex's nightmare in the backrooms. What lies beyond that door? Will he escape this impossible realm, or is he trapped forever in a place that shouldn't exist? If you want to find out what happens next, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell right now so you do not miss part 2, coming in just 48 hours. This story gets even more terrifying, and trust me, you do not want to miss the shocking conclusion. Drop a comment below with your theories about what might happen next, or share your own experiences with liminal spaces. Have you ever felt like you were somewhere you shouldn't be? Like reality itself was wrong? Remember, here at Hidden Realms, we explore the darkest corners of reality, bringing you the most bone-chilling stories that will keep you up at night. Until next time, sleep tight, and whatever you do, don't take any wrong turns.